Alright guys, continuing from part 1. In part 1 I went over using the dialog manager itself and how to type options, do wait and get functions and variables, and also emit signals. And now we're gonna go over creating a custom dialog window. So let's go to the 2D view. Me open up my custom dialog that I have created already. So the way I do that is I have a dialog canvas layer and I create a background image. So that's just this thing right here, and I have it set up to be line patched, and a margin container for the text, VBox container to hold the labels, and a speaker label. This is just the character name, the text that's being displayed, and the container for our options. Dialog manager usually comes with a custom label, but we're gonna use our own, so keep that in mind. If you want, you could always load up that label and try to figure it out. So it's called dialog label. There it is right there. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a grid container. So I'm using buttons, so the buttons go side by side instead of just straight down. Kind of an option to just like avoid too much options going down and stretching out the screen. There's a workaround for that, but I usually don't use it. So that's what you were seeing here. So let's run that scene again. Let's go over to this guy over here. You have the 3 options here, and I have it set to run the focus. Alright, so let's look at the code for that. In the scripts, go to my dialog. Okay, so first we get a reference to the dialog resource, and then we get a reference to the dialog line. So this is each line in a dialog. Then we grab each node that we're gonna need. So the speaker, the dialog background, dialog text, the options list, and reference to the options button. So this button we're gonna duplicate and change the text to represent each option, and we're putting it as a child of the options list. So awaiting selection, this is just an option for me to use the keyboard to select the first one if there's no option being selected. Then we have a total characters to do a character count system, and the dialog typing to check if the characters are still counting up, and characters drawn. This is just the total so far. So this is what we're going to be increasing, and the total is going to be set once for each line of dialog. And Y scale, I didn't use this again, so but I have it there, so just in case. And we export draw speed, which is how fast the text got typed out. On the ready function, we get the dialog manager's dialog finish signal, and connect and dialog. So we're gonna create that. Let's create that function down here in dialog. So it just freeze it. So now we have a start dialog function. It takes that dialog resource and then it starts. Set the start point, which is the title from here, for example. We assign that to dialog resource, dialog line to set the first line, and then we have an update dialog window. We'll set this to 0. As I said, I was trying to do something with this, but it doesn't seem to work that much. So anyways, we check if the dialog line is empty, then return, just in case, so it doesn't crash when it checks for something here. So the speaker text set to be the dialog line character. The dialog text we set to be the dialog line text. And then we clear options and set options. So I'm gonna just drop these in. Okay, so in the clear options, let's go down, or let's start with set options. We check if the dialog line has responses. So if it's greater than 0, that means there is. So awaiting selection, I set that to be true. Else we set it to be false. Then we say var options dialog line responses. And then we do a loop through them, and for each one we duplicate that ref button, this button right here, and then we add the child to the options list and show the child, because we have it hidden by default. So when it duplicates, it actually keeps hidden. So you have to remember to set that to true. Then we set the text to be the options text, and then set response action. This is what happens when you click the option. Right here we say response action, option get next and next ID. So options button get pressed, connect the get next dialog, and we bind that to the next ID. The next dialog, we get the ID and say dialog line await. Remember to always use await here. So dialog manager get next dialog line, and then it takes that same resource which we defined up top, and we say next ID and pass the globals. Didn't need this here since I figured out there was an error with that. And then you update dialog window again. So this is this right here. So let's move this up here. Move this to after start. And then we can now use the process. You get action interact. So I have that set to be E. So while you're pressing it, it updates. If dialog typing is equal to false, we check if it's waiting for a selection. Then we say next dialog, next ID. If it is waiting for a selection and we did press the interact, it's gonna choose the first option and then get its response ID, next ID, and then get next dialog with the first option. The process dialog window. So characters drawn less than total characters. And they say characters drawn increment by draw speed times delta time. And we set the text visible characters to be equals to characters drawn. That should be it. So the way I call this now is in my NPC class. Let's go here. And let's open up world. I don't have them as a scene, they're just in the world itself. So the NPC is just an area with a collision shape and a sprite. And one NPC on each NPC I have the dialogue that I need to use. So naked guy dialogue, and I think the first one was Dave dialogue. So these are all the dialogues I have here. Continue interaction, and then it goes to that. So anything else, then it jumps back to options, then it does all this again. And for naked guy one, so I have it emitting a signal. They're gonna probably go over that next. Let's save, and that's pretty much it for that. Could run this now. There you go. Blah 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 blah. Alright, so on the NPC, what I'm doing is I set the start position. This is just for testing. Well, it was animating with the tween. So to do the jump, that's what it is, a tween I'm using to do that. So I go to start talk. Let's go on the player and show you what I'm doing here. So in the player, let's go down to interact. So I check if the ray is interacting with anything. Here on my NPC, I have a collision raycast, and that's what I use to check the player's interaction, which is this here. If it is in a group NPC, then I call start talk on the NPC, and then they start talking here. Invention NPC dialog and emit NPC dialog. So that's what I connected over on the UI. So this is where I'm actually loading the dialog. So NPC dialog connect, and then set dialog, and set dialog resource and the start point. So we create a window. That's the dialog I have here. And add child window, and then start the dialog. And that's this window. So start dialog. Yep, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I know it's a bit confusing at some points, but if you guys need any help, leave any comments in the description. In the comment section. Alright guys, take care. Like and subscribe. Have a good one.